We owe a debt, one that cannot be repaid with money, possessions, affluence, or fame. We came into the debt by being born, and we will pay that debt with our lives. That debt is death. Whether you fear it, revere it, or don't even think about it, it will come. Because when it is your time, it is your time. And death will come in all of its majesty.
Yay! Welcome to the final episode of season 1 of the Talking Booth with Comfort Booth. This has been an eventful and very supportive journey. We have discussed from serious topics to funny topics that affect society, ranging from Okafor's Law, Woman Evolve, to Where Are the Men, Caged Child, Broken Adult, Menopause, Menoplay, Happy Never Ever After, our special episode, The Changing Faces of Dating, and Non-Raping Rapists. Your overwhelming support for us is what has made the show successful, and we cannot say thank you enough. But it's not time to draw the curtains just yet. We have one more topic to discuss. It's time to go on a break, and when we come back, we'll get right into the business of the day. As certain as our birth, death is the ultimate journey we all must embark on. Yet, in our celebration of birthdays, we often avoid acknowledging the certainty of death itself. Across all religions and cultures, death is universally recognized as a passageway from one life to another. So why does the concept of death instill fear in people? Why do we shy away from discussing it openly? Today, on this captivating episode of Life's Final Passage, we delve deep into the myths and mysteries surrounding the topic of death. Join us as we explore how we can foster a better understanding, or is it acceptance, of death, and learn to embrace and celebrate it in all its majesty. Joining me today to discuss this very important topic is Rodney, the young god. Rodney Omeokachie is a photographer turned brand strategist turned award-winning podcaster. He's the host of the award-winning podcast Young God, a philosopher, creative coach, public speaker, MC, and storyteller. What I love is that there's so many turned. So you are definitely living your best life, the Majesty of Death. Why did you decide that this was a good topic for you to come? Let's discuss.
I find death very fascinating. I find it, you know how they say that it's the great equalizer, right? Everyone is gonna experience it, whether it's personally or, you know, someone else's death or whatever. And I found it, you know, one of the most powerful things in terms of keeping one moving forward. You know, you mentioned how I'm turned this, turned that, right? So it's like from the understanding that life is short and the most you can do is to really explore your range of potential and die empty, so to speak.
Kai, say it again. That last phrase, die empty. As in, use every single thing that you have been given, skill, talent, knowledge. Use it here.
Exactly.
And then expire empty.
Yeah.
Please, why is it? You see, I find it very interesting. I like the topic death, only because I find that people are frightened by it. So this is the problem. On one hand, everybody shouts, life is short, let's do this, let's whatever. But their lives don't reflect it. We go to the funerals, you see everybody crying, shaking their heads, but we go back and live wicked, vile, unkind lives with no eternity or no end in sight. But we are afraid of death. We don't want to talk about it. If you say, but somebody, you probably will die. Oh, God forbid. Hey, I rebuke it. Can never happen to me. And you're wondering, no, it will happen to you. So why do you think we have this battle within us, this emotional battle?
I think it's largely from one, misunderstanding, and misunderstanding leads to fear. We were raised, to be very, very fearful of losing one another. So the idea of maybe becoming an orphan is scary already from a young age. Losing your siblings, and then when you watch movies without the proper context, so you see death on screen, but then nobody's talking about it at school or talking about it within the family. No one is giving you information that could help you understand what death means and why it's inevitable and it's still not the worst thing. Like there's worse things than death.
Really?
When you think about it.
What is it?
Man, torture is worse than death, whether it's emotional or physical torture.
Good. Tell them. That's what we want. We want people to understand that death is not that. It's not that horrible. When I started, questioning why people were afraid of death, if it is a sure end, name withheld wouldn't talk to me for a couple of months. She felt that I was being morbid. Probably I was wishing, for death. And I couldn't understand it. But we just went to a funeral. You just saw the end of someone. That's going to be your own end. Even if I don't say it, it's going to be your own end. How do we further demystify death? We keep saying we know. But when you bring it up, there are chants. There are water is sprayed on you. You are literally vilified for even saying it or thinking it. Yet it will happen. I understand the place of pain and hurt if somebody dies in quote prematurely. Remember, tomorrow is promised to no one. We didn't bring ourselves in. We don't have even the map. Nobody told me and you that you start at 0 and end here. So you just have to live your life every day. What else, apart from that statement you made, would we say to people in embracing death? Yes, embracing it, knocking out the fear.
So I believe that each person wants to be the best version of themselves. They want to, I'm going somewhere. They want to actualize themselves. They want to bring forth whatever is within them that God has put inside. And one of the ways to achieve that, in fact, you can't really fully achieve that ever without coming to terms with your mortality.
Preach.
You can't come to a place of fully accepting the life that you have if you're still looking over your shoulder. Right? So obviously the axe of death, as I like to think of it, is hanging over everyone's head.
Yes, it is.
And at any time the thread can cut and to drop, right? But that is like knowing that is there.
Yes.
It keeps you focused on what's important. So if you really think about it, death is one of the ways that we connect with our family members better. We know I could lose you tomorrow, so let me build this relationship. I could die tomorrow, so let me go and do this thing I haven't been doing. I could blow tomorrow, and I don't want that blowing to be, short-lived. So let me be present. Let me be in the moment. So when Jesus talked about having eternal life, it wasn't necessarily about heaven in the way that we know it, or maybe not just that, but it's also being present. Because one of the ways to sort of live forever is having a mindset of being in the moment, stretching experiences so that they last. This here between you and I, it might be 30 minutes to the viewer, but we're so into this conversation
Talk to me.
that it feels like it could go on forever.
Okay.
That's eternal.
Oh my goodness. I was enjoying it. Go on.
So death, when you understand it, when you've accepted it, when you sort of give in to the possibility of it, you calm down.
I feel you totally, and I would say this especially about my mom. I got her to the place where she accepted it. She's a pretty traditional person. She's one of, the normal way that human beings behave when it comes to issue of death and all. And so she wasn't really happy with the conversations initially. But eventually, she understood it. I wasn't saying go away or whatever, but I was saying get ready because you're going to go away. So yes, that's the mindset we should have. Get ready. So every day you wake up, your life should be a reflection of the fact that today might be the day. I look at you look at yours as an axe. I look at it as a switch. Because you hear some people, they say they were praying, then they slumped.
Yeah.
It's as if they switched off something now. You are driving and they say, they horned, the car didn't move. The person has slumped and died. It could happen at any time. And I love what she did. She became very proactive. She did her will, took me to the bank, made me a signatory. She said, I don't want you to have to make. I was impressed. And now she's going to travel for 4-6 months. It's what you said. She's not now looking over her shoulder anymore. She's looking forward. It can be any day now. So let me look forward to enjoy it. How I got here. So one day, I just decided, you know what? I've been pragmatic enough. I had gone to a funeral. I'd gone to a wake keep. And I couldn't stand the fact at the wake keep that people were crying and in pain or horrified by this death, and they were disturbing the people who were crying for water. You came to somebody's house that is crying, you're looking for water. Why didn't you come with your own? Shouldn't you be the one providing them with water to, just give them some comfort as, they move on? So I decided to go and write down instructions for my, instructions for the day that I die. So I have it written. Number 1, my service cannot be more than 1 hour. Number 2, they're going to play Frank Sinatra as my body is being wheeled in. I did it my way. I took the blows. I did it my way. That song will play. When it gets to the altar, the only person that is allowed to say a word about me is any living child that I have at that point. That's the only. I don't want to hear any. I'm dead anyway, so I really don't care. Yeah. But I don't want anybody on the pulpit saying, "Oh, she was a nice person. Oh, she was kind. Oh, she was heavenly." What happened when I was alive and I could hear it, and you didn't tell me? My people say it's the person that is alive that you beat drum with. Okay. After that, after she has finished that, then they'll play my 3 favorite hymns. To God be the glory, great things he has done. I can't remember the other 2 right now, but I wrote them down. When we go to the graveside, they're not allowed to say anything again or sing anything. Just put the damn coffin into the floor, cover it, let people go and have a nice time. Now, if I die before 70, I've made provision for the money for... No, if I die before 70, whoever is alive then can take care of the party or whatever it is that they want to do. If I die after 70, no. If I die before 70, I've made provision. That water anointing, asking people for small chops, I've made provision for it. If I die after 70, it's celebration now. Let them take care of it. So I wrote all that and took it to my friend, who happens to be a pastor. And he started crying. And I'm not joking. He was supposed to be on the show. He refused to be on the show. He said he might break down again. Yeah. I said, but why? What's the problem? He said, why would you be talking about death now? I said, I don't understand. You're the one that is supposed to even be talking to me about death so that I live my life correctly. He said, no, it's not right. It doesn't look good. I said, I don't get this. I didn't say I want to die. I am going to die. Maybe not now, but eventually, can you just help make sure that my wishes are whatever? He refused. I actually still have the original letter. So why am I telling you this story? I just want to remind you too that you will die.
Yeah. The reminder is taken, received. It has entered here and has entered here. And I think I like the fact that you've even chosen the song, because I have a song too.
What's your song?
It's Honor Him by Hans Zimmer.
Never heard it.
Yeah, it's a very moving orchestral song.
Okay.
And when I first heard it, it moved me to tears.
Okay.
So the song is designed to move anyone in my funeral to tears. I want them to feel that, a young God has left, somebody that, So that's.
You like that, ma?
I like that.
Yeah, no, I liked Frank Sinatra's song because it said everything about me. I did what I wanted to do my way. I determined it my way. I might have had regrets. I still did it my way, so screw you all.
My dad used to say, always says, still here, he always says, take pictures, because you never know which one will be used for obituary.
I just heard that recently. I wasn't a picture-taking person until, I really can't remember when, but I remember. It's when all this, Instagram started. So I started taking pictures. But then I just heard this recently because Somebody went to the archive of their father and they couldn't find pictures. They went like this and like this before they could find a decent picture to put. Then somebody now quoted this quote. So apart from pictures, I would encourage experiences. Do you know, whatever it is.
You know why people grieve so difficultly? They find it, they grieve, and there's two types of grief. There's grief that is sort of joyful, and there's grief that is full of angst and regret. And it's more difficult to get over the loss of a loved one when you didn't do right by them when they were alive.
I agree.
Right? And so
I agree.
The onus is on us. If you want to take away the sting of death, because it's going to sting regardless, but if you want to give it a sting that is less of a weight, you want to cherish relationships that you have.
I agree.
You know, you want to really treat people and know them and see them and feel like even after they've gone, you feel them around you because you know them.
I love what you've said, and I hope that people will begin to view death as a friend rather than an enemy. And I guess that's part of it again. That's why somebody would just arrogantly leave his house thinking that he's going to go and come back. And then he does. Yes. Yeah. But if you left your house saying, you know what, today is going to be a good day, you know, we're in the hands of the Creator. I really would love to, I would love to see you in a couple of hours. But hey, if it doesn't happen like that, see you on the other side.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
So light.
Yes.
Yeah, it could all be that simple, really.
Yes. See you on the other side. It's not morbid at all. And because God has a sense of humor, so okay, so this one wants to come, eh? Hello, Gabriel. Not today.
You know, there's a saying I read once, an author in a book. She said, God takes us when we become boring. He takes us when we become boring.
So he's not taking me now.
You know, so it's just a reminder to live
fully.
To live as if you're trying to tell God to chill first. I'm actually like doing stuff, you know.
Say it again.
God takes us when we become boring.
God takes us when we become boring. Meaning, if you are not using your skills, your talent, your time, your emotions, your love, you are not being positive, you are just being a nuisance. Okay, but wait, there are some
people that are not boring.
And they're a nuisance, and they're still here.
That's God's sense of humor.
Exactly. He's giving them time to repent. I like that.
Yeah, he's giving them time to repent. So what I mean by that is, you know how Jesus says, I have power over death, right? And really and simply, it's a testament to, I have lived so well that the fear of death is no longer a thing.
Please, can you say it again?
I have lived so well that the fear of death is no longer a crutch.
One time, again, please,
let
them hear you.
So well that the fear of death is no longer a thing. And so if you look at the life of Jesus from when he was born in the manger to the death, you can see this is a man who did things.
Yes.
He was doing things with people, for people. He was showing himself in a very, like, forget all the worship Jesus, pray to Jesus things. If you just look at it as a story of a guy who sort of figured himself out and was just interacting with people, doing things to the point where, you know, like, once you understand certain things, death doesn't have a hold on you anymore.
And looking at it, this man, we don't even know how many years now but he lived. But today, me and you are still talking about him. Impact, just 33 years. And that's what we should strive for. So that when our death comes, when it's time to go, I mean, you know, I made it. We accept that there's the pain and hurt. I just want people to stop this. God forbid, it's not my portion. Of course it's your portion. You will die. You have to die. How do you transit? You must die, and you don't believe you must die.
What do you think will happen when we die?
You see, I'm not even concerned about that. This is the part that I know. When I was born to what I'm doing now, till when maybe the light will be switched off. After that, the Creator of the universe, I've done my part now. I've accepted him as personal Lord and Savior. The rest is for him to make sure that I get to where he said I'm going to get to now. So that one is not my business again now. The transition to eternity is for him. But for this one, it's for us. You take what you're supposed to get, you get your business, and you cross over to the other side. At that point, you're none of your business.
You know who we should blame?
I'm sure you tell me.
The person that we should like, the people that we should look at. And now this is hot take time.
Okay.
The people that we should look at when it comes to this conundrum with how people in our society approach death is the religious institutions.
I'm listening.
Because it's a fear-based institution. The people that I put some of the blame on is our religious institutions. They have, really taking advantage of the fact that the average Nigerian really, doesn't want to die. And it's funny because we're afraid of death, and yet the lives that we live are sometimes, for most people, for a lot of people, are very like abysmal.
Yes,
based on like the quality of life, whether it's physically and even psychologically, right? So it's like, what even are you fighting to stay alive for? But what I understand is that the way church is practiced, the way religion is practiced, it really takes advantage of and reinforces that you're not going to die. You will live.
Yeah,
your family must not die.
Yeah.
So that continues to reinforce that fear and that distance. And why do you think graveyards are so out of sight?
I don't know. They should put them in the middle of the city, honestly.
Yeah, there's some cities where you pass a roundabout of a graveyard just to remind you.
And they'll be looking pretty. You'll be saying, let me take picture. You're right. No, you're very right.
So it says a lot about the society. Have a strange respect for people who run mortuaries, morgues, people who run funeral parlors, people who make coffins, people who drive those Black Marias. You can, if you ever talk to them or sit with them, you can see that they have made peace. They have accepted that death is around them at all times.
Have you noticed how old they are?
No, I haven't.
They're old. They've been at it for a while. Death hasn't come to them. Go next time you check, go and see. A lot of the morgue assistants, the people who drive the hearses, the people who run the funeral homes have been at it. It has even been a generational thing. Check and see.
And they're making money.
That's my point. So the people who are, in quote, what they would say, peddling death, are actually alive. What does that say for you? And it surprises me in a country like Nigeria, especially the religious ones, where I thought the heaven is paved with gold. Mansion is there. No sickness, no worry. No, seriously, you are very right. It makes you wonder, why would you be afraid to go to a place that is actually better than the place that you reside?
And especially if you know you're going there, right? If you're living properly to get there, right? You should even be looking forward to it.
My brother, there was a time when I sat down and I had a checklist. Married, check. Giving birth, check. Educated, check. What do you call it? Friend, check. Property, check. I've checked all the boxes. So I said, okay, I'm done. I'm bored now. It's time to go. I actually got to that point where I didn't feel like killing myself. No, nothing like that. Yeah. But I was just having a conversation with God, like, okay, like really, I'm done. I've checked all the boxes. Yeah, I mean, I've accepted you too. I've told a couple of people about you. I hope they listen. I'm done. I'm actually, ready to go.
How does it feel?
I was at peace with it, right? But don't forget, it's a conversation. So you're having with him. And, the way, God has a sense of humor. And if you relate it to the story of Elijah, Elijah said, I'm done. You know what, you, God, I'm done with you. I'm just going to lie under this tree and die. And what did God do? Said an angel, wake up, you need to eat because your journey is still far. All this, you're just throwing a tantrum. He literally did the same with me. He literally did the same with me. You're not going anywhere. I've not finished. You've not finished or whatever. And honestly, that was it. That was it. So I got up and said, okay, what is it? Okay, what do we do? But I loved it. I loved the fact that I could feel that comfortable with it. I loved the fact that I could talk to the person who brought me here or created me. I loved the fact that he would say, no, don't go anywhere. Nowhere. You've not finished. You've not finished here. You still have a lot of work to do. You have to finish it. Then, only then, I will still decide when you leave. And then here we are. And that's why we're here talking about it. People should embrace death. Nothing wrong with it. The best thing that could ever happen to you. Sorry.
I would say I envy dead people.
Okay, that's another level of deep. Let's go.
Yeah, think about it. Like, so on one hand, when I'm on Instagram or something, or Twitter or wherever, and I see that they've announced someone that has died, I'm like, damn, you're done.
Done.
Like, you don't have to deal with any of this, like, ceremony again. Because, if you think about it, whether you're trying to be a good person or you're a bad person, life is a struggle. Because it's difficult to be good. Like, being good is very, very hard. And then being bad is like, there's consequences of being bad. So you're suffering the consequences of being bad. So whichever way you like slice or dice it, living and figuring out this life thing is a constant struggle.
I love it.
So when I see someone's obituary or someone has passed,
I know what you mean. And every day, you know what I do? I say, okay, which bad thing do I have in this my drawer? If I not don't come back today, that's how they come and be rummaging through my ward. So I'll open the drawer, check. Okay, quickly pack this one, throw it. I said, at least when they come, they say, no, I'm a better person.
your browser history.
I don't check bad things on my browser history. I'm talking about you just have naughty things lying about, and you don't want your mom to come and die of faint.
You don't have to die after you die.
You know how it is, or maybe your child.
Right.
Yes. Now I don't. So I would always literally, in quote, clean out my closet. That's
Eminem. Okay.
Yeah, well, I clean up the closet. What else? The underwear has to be top, because people will just rifle through your hotel. So it has to be top notch. If I have an accident, it's top notch. Oh, that's another thing. Please, everybody, you must learn to wear the best underwear every day. Invest in it. See, if you have an accident, you want them at least when they are tearing your clothes to help you see something nice. Let's not horrify people. Presentation. Thank you. It's very key. It's very key. Yeah. Yes, they will bath you and all. That's true. So groom also. Groom. Why are you laughing? It's true now.
It's funny. It's true.
Yeah,
it's funny.
true.
Yeah,
but you see, if we consciously live like that, right, every day knowing that, okay, this might be the last, so I'm just going to have a nice, I'm going to be kind to this person, I'm going to smell nice, I'm going to look nice, I'm going to feel nice. Honestly, even if it is, as you called it, premature, or it wasn't, well, according to us, it wasn't meant to happen, you would go out, if nothing else, well-groomed.
Yeah. Of all the ways you could describe death, you went with majesty, and then you picked an outfit that was also majestic in that. Why is, because if you ask me about death, majestic is not the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Why is that for you?
Why is, okay, lovely question. Because it ends all. No matter how we vilify it, no matter how we keep it under the carpet, how we want to ignore it, how we want to say, oh, God forbid and all that, it comes in its full majesty and takes you. Doesn't care. Yeah. It's only majesty that does that. Yeah. That has the audacity to do that. Yes, that's it.
To just abruptly put an end to...
Whether you were shouting on your knee yesterday or you were fasting, if it is the time, death will come and take you. Okay.
How would you like to be remembered?
As one who lived her life on her own terms, straight.
I'm done hosting.
And I hope that it even inspires people. I want my daughter to live that way. I want her to live fearlessly without the thought. I want her to be kind. I want her to be thoughtful. I want her to live every day zestfully. Honestly, I really pray that for her, because it's the only way to live. It's the only way. So how would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as somebody who was one of one. Like when you met me, you felt like you're meeting someone that is a unique individual. How I think, talk, dress, how I do things. And memory is very important, especially when we talk about death. You can't talk about death without memory.
Yes.
Because it's very important how you're remembered, right? And because to live in the hearts of those you love is not to die. So when you die, your memory is what lives on. So as long as there's somebody alive that remembers you, you are still here. Forever. So through the work that you've done, like this show, as long as, some people have eyes,
they will most likely see it.
They will see that you've done this. Yes. So doing things that keep you, like Michael Jackson, do you think you'll ever forget him?
No. How?
Julius Caesar, all these people that have made impact.
Yeah, it's
right?
true.
So that's, in a sense, their spirit is still among us, because the moment you can learn from this person, or this person inspires you, you're like reborn, in a sense, in this person.
Well, I'm good. I've enjoyed my life. If they don't want to continue with the legacy, me, my own, have gone now. It's them, as you rightly said, it's them that are left now to deal with whatever, it is. And, this is another topic for another day. I'll see you. right after the break. Welcome back. Rodney, the young god. What are your final thoughts on the Majesty of Death?
Final thoughts. I was here, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, you have a pillow that really just stayed in my head, you know. But I was here and not just here physically, but here as a human being in general. And I think that attitude of leaving your mark, and I want that to be my middle finger to death, in a sense.
Okay, I don't understand.
My middle finger to death in the sense
I
that...
don't understand.
Okay.
Is it like practicalize it?
That idea that I just...
Middle finger to death. Okay, I've done it for you. Go on.
Are we allowed to do that?
Well, I've done it.
That's not the middle finger, that's... The
Okay, which one is it? Like this?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
You didn't know? See, so can I do that? Middle finger.
Okay, this
to
one?
death.
Oh, which one?
This one.
Okay.
The middle, yeah. Like, yeah. You know, I haven't done this in a while, though. Wow.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so a middle finger to death, saying that you're coming, you're behind me, you're stalking me like a prey, but I'm not gonna like think of that when I'm doing whatever I'm doing.
I'm gonna cower.
You know, yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I'm a force for good, and so that when I do, you know, go, that I'm remembered well. I'm remembered well, and man, I'm gonna get emotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to take a breather? Okay.
Breathing is good.
So, they said the number one topic at bedsides, deathbed, sides, is regret. That is where you hear the regrets of people. So I'll give you this story as my closing. I had this friend, we were very close. He was my, I don't want to use the word best friend, but he was like, we were like 5 and 6. We had a misunderstanding, we got into an altercation, and we stopped talking. He was older than me. We stopped talking. But I knew that we needed to forgive each other and move on. But at that time, I was very stubborn, very pig-headed, and I knew as the younger one, I should try and make it. Anyway, long story short, we met at a wedding. I finally, decided, okay, I'll put my pride aside, walk up to him. I saw him leave the hall and go through a door. So I followed him through the door. As I came, he opened it, we looked at each other, and pride set in again, and I didn't say, I'm sorry, or I didn't say, let's make it up. Life went on. I'm sitting down one day, and then I'm told that he was murdered on his way home. It took me a while to forgive myself, because I kept saying I wanted to say sorry. All those years we didn't talk, all those years we missed out doing what we were doing that made us friends, all those years that I thought about the fact that we should make up. And when I got the opportunity, because of pride, I let it go. And now here I am, regretting all those times. And so that would be my final word to us. Do you want to live with that type of regret or those regrets? If you embrace death, then you'll be more intentional about your life and how you treat people around you, how you treat yourself. So, anyway, as a Nigerian, there's no way that you can come to my house, which this is my house now, and have this type of conversation with me. So I just want to say thank you so much, so much for taking the time to come for us to talk about this difficult topic, because either way we look at it, it is difficult. And just starting the conversation out there so that people can, let's talk about it and let's demystify this. Yeah. So I have a little something for you. So wherever you go to, you remember that you were where?
On the talking booth.
And what?
I was here.
So you were here and you were here.
Can you see the look on my face? I didn't know I really wanted the pillow, and now I got it. Mad.
So you manifested it?
Thank you, CV. Yeah, for real. Thank you.
I'll see you right after the break. Although we've come to the end of season 1, still I can't let you go. It's so natural. You belong to us. We belong to you. Come to the end of season 1. Still we can't let you go. It's so natural. You belong to us. We belong to you. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles. And a shout out to all our sponsors: Alibert Furniture, Vento Furniture, Purple Lace Fragrances, Silverbird Cinema. And from us all here at the studio, goodbye and see you next season. Go. It's so natural. You belong to us. We belong to you.